How's it going, Sha?
Not bad. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I I went to get my oil changed for my car this week, and I I realized that like I don't understand why I'm supposed to stand there. You know,
What?
like this is the second time this happened. I had the car worked on this week. I had the guy come into my house the other day and fixed and changed my washer, my dishwasher.
Okay.
And I noticed like as a man, there's like an expectation that like I stand there and pretend that I know what he's doing. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I'm not. I hired you because I don't get it. Like
Right, right,
I'm
right.
accepting that. Okay. I'm not a manly man in that regard. I'm okay with that. My ego will not be hit. It's okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
comfortable paying you for your expertise. But every one of these experts, I appreciate that they explained to me what's wrong with my car, but like you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to point it out. Like I'm not gonna know what you're showing me. Be
Oh
like
gosh.
yo, this is what's wrong. Like the washing machine guy, he was like, hey, this is the motor, and I sincerely he could have shown me Legos, like nothing about that. Like yo, there was not a thing that he showed me that like told me motor. Nothing
Right.
about it. It was just plastic and metal. And he explained to me that this motor wasn't detachable, and that's why we needed to change the whole machine.
Gotcha.
Sincerely could have been scamming me, not, I don't know. Do not
Mm-hmm.
care. I've accepted that. That's my role in life. I
Right.
write jokes. I'm gonna get scammed every now and then. When it comes to mechanical jobs, I try to hire people that are reviewed as honest to
Mm-hmm.
circumvent that, but I accept that like I don't know what you're showing me. You know what I
Right.
mean? His employee comes in the next time to switch out the machine, and he's like, "Oh, you got one of the old joints." That's what, and he's like, "That's what I was telling him last time." And I was like, "Yeah, I remember when you were talking to me about the thing that I couldn't see."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad y'all two were in agreement, but I don't know what the fuck's happening. Then
Right.
it happens again yesterday. I'm getting my oil changed, and the guy's like, "Hey, you should consider uh upgrading your brake pad soon.
Mm.
They're starting to get worn." And he's like, "Can you see?" And I'm like, my man, I don't know what the pad is. I don't know where it is. I don't know how thin it's supposed to be. I don't know
Right.
when it's worn. Like
Uh-huh.
you could point anywhere underneath the car and tell me that's the brake pad, my G, and I would believe you. Nothing about that. Like he lifted the car up to show me, because he's
Yeah.
like friends with my dad. He's trying to like keep me informed.
Yeah.
Sincerely appreciate it, but like
Mm-hmm.
on God, it's not gonna register. Like that's just not how my brain works. Okay. And he's like, nah, you see, this brake pad is this thin. And I'm like, what's that shit that people tell you when with the tires?
Oh,
You're supposed
rotating
to
them?
rotating them and changing them when they're like you got when you see that the threading is running out. They're like
Yeah, the tread is low. Yeah.
yeah. So he's like, it's a good way to test it. He's like, you gotta grab like a quarter or a dime
Yes,
and you
and you
put it
stick it in
there.
the yeah.
He stuck the shit.
You put a penny in upside down where Lincoln's head, and then you see
He told me this whole speech. I
and
was like, I see the penny. I was like, yo, my man, I still see the penny. I don't know what we hiding, what this penny thing is supposed to reveal.
oh
I'm like,
no.
this is the shittiest magic trick of my whole life. Like, I
Oh
don't know what you're trying
no.
to show me right now, my G, but I don't see it. I don't care. Just tell me if I need tires or not. Okay. Tell me I need
Mhm.
tires every time I come here. I don't care. Like for real. I'll get new tires every 3 months. But
Oh
like,
my
don't
god.
the demonstrating this penny thing did nothing for me at all.
Oh,
He's like, nah, you gotta spend. You see, like when the head disappears, I'm like, sure, my man. I do not. This is not how my brain works. I don't get this stuff. Okay,
okay.
that's why I'm paying you. I don't understand. I don't want to understand. That's not, what I mean. You want me to tell you how jokes and stories work? Sure. You know what I mean? Like I promise you, you'll be just as bored. Okay, but we have trust that when you come to my show, I'm gonna deliver my shit. You gonna
Right.
deliver the fixing of the car. That's what we do. Like I just have faith that that's how we work as people.
Okay, so have you had like I'm not saying that your current car is bummy, but have you had bummy cars in the past?
Yes, my current
Okay.
car is not, but my previous one was.
Okay. So then was there something on that car that broke down all the time?
Yeah.
Like what like one particular thing that broke down all the time?
The air conditioning and the
Okay.
computer in my 1999 Camry were
Okay. All
consistently
right.
ran.
Yeah, those okay. All right. Cuz I think as someone who has owned nothing but bummy cars, never had a nice one, right? I I think that you learn about the car based on what broke down on your previous cars, right?
Okay.
So I don't know much about cars, but I can hear a sound and go, "You're gonna need a your CV joint is busted." Like, I know when the timing chain, or in my day, it was a timing belt, but,
Right.
timing chain, I know when you need that, I know that squeal, and I know that, okay, you don't have the money for it, put a little bit of soap on it to kinda help it move along, right? I
Okay.
know all
Okay.
the bullet
Okay.
because I drove these shitty cars, and I found, a mechanic, that wasn't far from my house where I was bringing in this my first car was just a piece of shit, it turned out. Looked nice, but had bad brakes, all of the bad brakes, all kinds of bad brakes. And, and the first time I took it for an oil change somewhere else, when they put the little thing down that holds the hood up,
Yeah.
they put it down instead of locking it into the place where it was supposed to go, they just let it fall and then closed the hood, so it cut off, like, the fuse box, and so I was driving and then it just stopped, and then I got it towed to the place near my house because 'cause I'm like, "I need to be able to at least walk home," and they were like we looked and looked, we couldn't figure it out, and then we saw that it was this, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me," because 'cause I'm just like, I don't know much, but I know that's not like a huge thing, but the whole car couldn't run because there was no power, and I just paid to have it towed, blah, 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 and I think these people at this this mechanic, it was just like, "This poor girl." So, he was just, like, very nice in showing me a few things, right?
Okay.
And so, and then I later on had another mechanic who was very good to me and showed me, like, some things and whatnot, and so I like, I don't know much about a car, but I do know a lot about a lot of little things. So, I know about tires. I've had shitty tires, I bought used tires, so I know about the tread, I know, "Oh, let me just go on and get these rotated because there's a lot of tread on this side, and the whole thing needs to be aligned because it's wearing funny." The
Right.
old penny trick. I can change a tire pretty quickly,
Okay.
which
Okay.
I've definitely either impressed or intimidated some men with that skill. They're like, "In the rain?" I'm like, "Find a rock," like, I'm like, "Come on, I don't have time to argue." And, yeah, like, so it's funny, because I understand just like I'm gonna trust what you're doing, that you're gonna do it right. And the thing is, it's kind of weird, but as a dude, you can trust them because they assume that you know about it too. So
Yeah.
they talk to you as such, and you're like, all right. And they're like, oh, this guy gets it. So they do what they need to do because they think, oh, this guy knows what it's about. I come in and they're just like, oh, this girl, she doesn't know anything. Let's try to sell her on this or tell her blah blah blah. And then I'm like, no, because I just what. Like with the brakes, I did something and they were like, well, I forget what it was. And I was like, no, I just had the caliper um replaced. And someone in the back was like, "Ooh, she even said it right." Because it's not caliber with a B, it's the caliper. It's what holds the brakes to when you press the brakes, it presses down and the pads apply to the wheel to stop it. It's pads in the front, shoes in the back, I think. It's the same thing. A brake
Yeah.
pad that's in the front two tires and the brake shoes are in the back two tires, but it's the same thing basically. But I had to replace the caliper on one of them, and so I was like, "Nah, I just replaced the caliper on that, so that can't be it." And they were like, "Oop, well, shit." Like, "Oh, no, she knows her brakes." And so, like, it's so funny because I had to, like, really listen and pay attention to that shit so that I wouldn't get fucked over because 'cause I'm not paying more than $3,000 for a car, so I need to know about cars. That's how I learn.
I mean,
I'm not doing a car note ever again. So I need to learn about cars.
um, I tried. Like, it's not something that interests me. So like,
Right.
my brain doesn't care. I'll try to pay attention. It doesn't register. And like,
Mhm.
you've been in my car. It's like, it's older now, but it's still in good shape. And I've been the only
Mhm.
owner. I bought it new. So like, I know a part of it with the car in particular is like, the mechanic is on my block. So like
Right.
he cares about me. Like he's friends with my dad, and then we're cool. He's seen my kids now, so like he's invested in like me being okay as a person.
Right.
And also he takes pride in like, this schmuck doesn't know anything about this car and it
Right.
still runs because I keep that car alive.
Car running.
Like
Yes. Yes.
there's a pride in that. Like, yo, despite his best efforts to not know anything, that car runs well. You know, like I see that he puts notes on my car and shit. Like there's like he has like notes on the engine or like when he changed the
Uh-huh.
oil.
Oh,
Like he
that's
has his
so
own
funny.
like system and love affair with the car, you
Uh-huh.
know? And like he's like, so I get it. Like, and I'm over here like, my man, I appreciate that you bonded. You gave it a name, probably. I don't know. Okay.
Right.
But like me, and this is just functional for me, my J. So like
Mhm.
when I bring it to you, I trust you. Like I know you as a dude. I know you're gonna do good work. I don't care what the
Yes.
story is. Do what you got to do.
Uh-huh.
Sincerely, I'm trying to help you because like when you talk to me about it, I promise you it's a waste of your time. Like I'm not
Yes.
gonna
Yeah.
remember.
Just do the work. Don't tell me the work because
Do the work.
it's never going to stick with me.
Real talk. You want to talk
Yeah.
about the game? We could do that while we fix. But
Right.
like, you talking to me about what the car need? Nah, I'm never gonna remember. Just do what you do. Tell me the total. If it's over like 2 G's, then yeah, tell me like a part. Like just
Right.
so like my brain's okay and I can explain that to Gabby. But like
Mhm.
on God, whatever else, when I come home, I'm gonna just tell Gabby, oh, I spent 500 on the car. That's all
Yes.
she's getting, and that's all she knows I'm gonna give her. Not because I'm dismissing her, but because I don't understand. Gabby, tell her all you want. She's into that shit.
Right.
Tell my
That's so
dad
funny.
afterward when you bump into him later that day, hey, I fixed
Mhm.
this, and this in your son's car. Also fine. Telling me, waste of everybody's time. I'm not gonna be able to tell dad later. I'm not gonna be able to tell Gabby later. Nobody knows what you shared with me. Okay.
Okay. All right. So then follow-up question. How mechanically inclined are your children?
They're okay because of Gabby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gabby's
So
really
they
dope
have
with all that. Like
yeah.
they use like the power drill probably once a month.
Wow.
Yeah, like she's like busy. She gets busy. Like anything installed in this home, like right now, like in my office, she did everything.
Mhm.
She like plastered the walls. She installed the flat screen onto the wall.
Mhm.
She did a lot of the electrical work, like the lighting, and like she gets busy,
God
like for
damn.
real. Yeah,
That's impressive. I wish
yeah.
I could do that kind of thing.
Like Gabby got like her own toolkits, all that shit. Like she got like all of that. That is not me. So like,
I
people.
love that she's got toolkits and you probably have like a stack of notebooks.
Yo, for real, straight up. Like when the dude came over for the freaking 2 weeks ago with the dishwasher, he was like
Mhm.
he was asking me for stuff that like I was like, yo, my man, I don't know. You want me to get my wife? Like she'll talk to you. And he was looking at me like I was like messing up. I was like,
Right.
yo, homie, like I don't. That's just not what I do. Okay, I
Right.
write jokes. I talk about it on stage, but like the home repair, none of that is on me. We called
That's
you
so
because
great.
she couldn't handle it. Okay, that's how this house works. Okay,
That's
accept it.
fantastic. I love it. I love it.
Yo, I'm proud. She's freaking awesome. I
Man,
know my
that's
role.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. So
I
how's your
know
car
like
running?
yeah. I
How
feel like the car is good. The
Mhm.
machine works. I paid for it. That was my job. Um, I understand that like I'm wearing black Dickies, so you get the illusion that I work,
Right,
but I
yes,
don't.
sure.
I think
Someone
that's a
who's
big part of it.
someone who's gonna wear Tim's a part of the time
Yeah,
certainly should yeah. No, no,
I
no, no,
hear
no.
you.
Yeah.
And like I
I
could swing a hammer, I just don't know
what you're
why.
hitting?
Yeah, like what are we hitting? Like what are we
Why?
doing? You know, if you need it swung, you tell me you know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna trust you. I'll do it. But
Oh my
like
god.
deciding when and how to do that stuff, I can't do it. I could use a power drill, I just never know when to. So like if you know
Yeah.
the direction, yeah, I trust you. We could get it done.
I'm not good. That's actually a goal of mine is to figure out how to use a power drill and to use it. I mean, I can't build I don't think I can build anything. There's an attention to detail that's necessary for
Yeah,
that kind of stuff that I do not have. It's why I don't craft. It's why I don't, you know what I mean? I've had friends who are like, let's get into scrapbooking. And I'm like, "Oh, what? Just putting pictures in a photo album?" And they're like, no, no, no. Like it has a theme, and then you find pictures and you artfully. And I was like, nah, just get a photo album, put them in there, and then you're good. I lay everything out like a newspaper because I worked on yearbook staff. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't lay things out in like a fun way with like illustrations. I'm just like, I need to, it's a grid. I need to get it to line up so I can put the captions underneath it to get me the information. It's not fun, right? But so I don't have I don't think I have the attention to detail necessary to like truly build something. But I
yeah,
mean, if it's like a flat pack of like a bed, if I got to put a bed together or a couch like I did for my sister or a bar cart like I did for my sister, like I did all of that for her. Give me an Allen wrench, we'll work it out. I'll just follow the instructions and we'll get it done. I'll hang some. I'll definitely hang shit. I don't know if it's going to stay, but I'll figure it out. But I'll hang stuff anywhere. But yeah, I think it's probably time for me to figure out just a little bit of how to own a drill. And I think everybody should have their own like little toolkit and drill if you can use it,
yeah. I
like for
agree. They're
sure.
fun. Like I like using it when Gabby tells me what to do. But
Yeah.
like
But
on my
also
own, I shouldn't be trusted. I don't know
I
when.
also think that everyone should know a little bit about a car if they're going to drive one. Just
That's
a wee
fair.
bit. Yeah,
That's
just a
fair.
wee bit to remember where to like I can't change oil. At least know where to put oil in. If you have an oil leak, and you probably will if you're driving the kind of cars that I drove, just
Yeah.
know where to put the oil in.
I tell you
No.
what,
Hmm.
I'm gonna change the oil next time. Okay, I'm gonna buy the parts. I'm gonna get
Buy
on
a
Amazon. I'm gonna buy the parts. I don't know what you need. I think you need something to change the oil.
You need
Like you need a wrench. I'm assuming. I don't know why, but
okay.
I figure you need a wrench.
Yeah,
You need a
you'll
wrench
need
for
a
everything.
pan. You'll need a pan for it to drip onto to collect the
Yeah,
oil that's coming out, and then you might need a filter, a new filter. Yeah,
see, like that's a
have
perfect example. Okay,
uh-huh.
none of the filters look the same. You show me
No, that's true. That's
a
true.
filter on a car, a filter on an air conditioner, a filter on a dishwasher. None of those filters match. So
They're
how you
doing
show me, like, that's why I get tight. People like, yo, this is the filter. How am I supposed to know that, my G? No other filter in life looks like that filter. Like, yo, and you get mad at me. That's on y'all for just naming it the same shit. Like, yo, there's so many other letters. You could have put letters together in any way and changed it, made it its own word. You named it the same shit when it don't look like that. That's crazy. Yo, it's bananas. There's so many other words you could have chose. You
Oh,
chose
wow.
filter. It don't look like any other filter I've seen in my life. Does that shit look like a Brita? A Brita's a filter. That ain't the same shit. They can't all be the same. They can't all be that word.
Oh, wow.
And it
Okay.
irks me. I seen motors in cars. I seen motors on turntables. I seen
Uh-huh.
motors on a dishwasher. None of those motors match. Not a single one. Not one. Line them up. I promise you, people will look at all three of those things, and if they're not mechanically inclined, they won't know it's the same shit, apparently. It's impossible. Y'all need to get your act together, okay? Like, there's no way that matches. Every time I see a pen, I know it's a pen, okay?
Okay.
Y'all get y'all mechanical folks, y'all making it hard for me out here.
Oh, wow. I never considered that.
Yo, I'm
Never.
trying, sincerely. I looked at it, nothing about that looks the same to me. The filter shit happens all the time. Every time something's getting fixed, oh, it's the filter. That filter don't look like any other filter I've seen in my life in any other environment where you tell me that I need a filter. So
I
how am I
mean,
supposed to know all those are filters?
you've got a point. There's a difference within the coffee filters.
Yeah,
Is it a cone or does it fit in a dish or is it
yo,
like a yeah, that's true. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong on the filters.
I'm
You ain't
telling
wrong
you,
on the
yo,
filters.
this frustration is genuine, okay? I tried, yo, like for real.
Oh.
I cannot do it, yo.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But yes, I know the Dickies are deceptive. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing with any of that stuff. I made a pledge to wear the same outfit for simplicity's sake, not because it gives away that I'm mechanically inclined.
Right.
Although I
So
do like the workman's mode that it puts me in, but it's like a
sure.
mental thing to remind myself to work hard at an art
Okay.
where
All
all the
right.
pens look the same, all my paper
Yes.
looks like paper. Okay, I promise you, I show you paper, you'll know it's paper in my world. Y'all get y'all
Okay.
act together, then I'll jump in with this mechanical shit. Okay.
Okay. You're insane, but I get it. Oh my god.
Let's get into the news.
Okay.
A woman is ordered to repay $2,000 after her employer used software to track her time. Canadian accountant Carly Bessie was fired from being unproductive at her job. She found herself up against not only her former employer, but its time tracking software too. Now, Civil Tribunal, which is a part of Canada's judicial system, has ruled that Bessie owes her former company $2,756 after the software installed on her laptop revealed she misrepresented over 50 hours at work. Bessie worked remotely for Reach CPA, an accounting firm based in British Columbia. The dispute began last year when Bessie claimed she was fired without just cause. Her employer argued that Bessie was rightfully let go because she engaged in time theft. Reach CPA said it gathered evidence using TimeCamp, a time tracking software that records what files are accessed and for how long. Records show a discrepancy of 50 hours between what Bessie reported as time worked and what TimeCamp logged as work activity. Bessie argued that she found the program difficult to use and she could not get the software to differentiate between work and time spent on her work laptop for personal use, which both parties agree her employer allowed during staff's off hours. In a
Mhm.
video submitted to the court, ReCPA showed that TimeCamp is able to record when and how long employees access work-related documents and to differentiate based on electronic pathway from when they're on non-work sites, such as a streaming service like Disney Plus. The company makes the final distinction between work and non-work activities.
Hmm. Okay. As you were reading that, I went ahead and opened up my work email since I'm on the clock.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Just to see what kind of task I should do once we're done here. But all right. So here's that's kind of wild. I know that putting in the time thing is something that, popped off when everybody went home to work. And I am not a big fan of it, of that, especially because you kind of, without the parameters that you have of like a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 6 or whatever, where you have to be there for the 8 hours and you have to make your work stretch into that 8 hours. If you really are just like head down, let's get through it, either what you have to do takes like 4 hours or it takes 11 hours. You know what I mean? Like it's one or the other. And
Right.
so it's like, and also that software, it's like a thing where if you don't move your mouse enough, it's like, oh, you're not doing anything. So it counts again. So you got to like jiggle your thing as you're researching. There are, like depending on what your work is, unless it's just straight up nonstop typing and clicking, you may have to go do something else or look at another thing.
Right.
And it's like, that's something that if someone's walking by you, it's clear, but it's not necessarily like clear on at home. And also, and this was a thing that happened, and I understand that not a lot of companies could just send you a laptop to work from or whatever, but
Right.
it is like wild. Like my personal laptop has a VPN for work on it, and I don't know if that shit is on and running. I mean, I try to make sure it's disconnected when I'm not looking at my work computer for a
Right.
thing. But a lot of times, like if you were to if something were to track me, I do a lot of stuff via emails, and I just do that on my regular old computer rather than going through my work computer.
Right.
because it's so fucking slow. So a lot of the connections are not even that great. So now you're waiting and things are taking longer, and then it says you're not moving and it counts that against you and all that shit. I'm like, she shouldn't, like, come on,
Yeah, it's
calm
grimy.
down. And that's also like just like a little bit over a week's work is what that
Yo,
is.
yeah.
Eat that shit. It
Yo,
was over years. Eat that shit. Like, come on, that's ridiculous to
yeah.
man. Unless she's doing something egregious, you know what I
Yo.
mean? Like recording a podcast, then she should be okay.
Let her live, okay?
Yeah.
Let her creativity shine too. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, if it was like she's not getting any work done, she got no work done in that time.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's
It's
different.
the same. Like, are you docking pay for when people are just wandering around the office, not doing anything and hanging out in the break room and having weird conversations? Because
Oh,
that's happening a lot in
yeah.
offices. And it's okay because it's within the parameters of the office. Well, let her fucking wander in her house.
And like,
Like,
isn't that how jobs are done? Like,
yeah.
I remember when, like, in particular, when you're a manager, a big part of it is critical thinking. So, like, I would
Yes.
get an email, I wouldn't know the answer. I would stand
Mm-hmm.
up, I would pace in the office, I'd walk across the hall, talk about it out loud with my peers. That whole
Mm-hmm.
time, the email's open or the task is open. And I'm
Right.
just like thinking it through, bringing people over. Hey, look at this Excel sheet. What do you think when you see this? Like,
Yep.
there would be large amounts of time where like the screen would be open and it's not moving. And then after like I compute all of that in my head, I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of very efficient work because I thought
Yeah.
about it. I
Yes,
grouped,
exactly. Now that you have a plan in place, what you have to figure out the plan. And
yeah,
then once you get the plan in place, you just do the thing. So that's why it can either be like 4 hours of work or 11 hours of work. It's
yeah.
yeah,
But that
man.
time to rummage is still work. But
Yes.
I can't be. I don't want to be moving my mouse when I'm thinking of that shit. I'm thinking. You know
It's
what I mean?
so much just the stress in general that they're putting on people to make sure that they seem like just busy work, the ridiculous busy work necessary to like I to make people feel okay about the going into work. Because then if we realize that what we're doing could be relatively simple for some folks and then everything we all of society is built on this house of cards and it all come crashing down. And we don't want that. We don't want that.
Come
So
on.
yeah, but man, y'all should just you should have just let it cook. It was just 40, 50 hours. It's just a little bit over a week. Get out of
Not
here.
that serious, B.
Yeah, that's a week in a day. Come on.
Yo. in, in other news, a woman arranges for a flash mob at her own funeral to dance to Queen's Another One Bites the Dust. Respect.
All right, that's not
Funerals
bad. That's not bad.
funerals don't have to be somber affairs is proven by one woman who arranged a flash mob to take place during her own send-off. To top it off, uh, she had the dancers perform to the Queen classic, Another One Bites the Dust, showcasing her humor. Sandy Wood died from a tongue cancer at 65 years old after being a victim of the infected blood scandal, which contributed to her death. Tens of thousands of people were given blood that had been contaminated with hepatitis C in 1977. One of which was Sandy, described by her friends as a bit of a rebel. The former bodybuilder wanted to go out with a massive bang, so she hired Bristol-based dance troupe, the Flaming Feathers, for her funeral. The 65-year-old died on September 19th, 2022, but her fun wasn't done as footage shows the dance troupe standing up among crying family members to perform. They stripped off large jackets to reveal their uniforms as the music played loudly in the background. All this was to the shock of the grieving crowd, who had no idea Sandy had planned this surprise. One initially was refusing to look at the dancers, but the dance troupe and managers performed. Claire Phipps, 36, says that the crowd was soon joining in. Claire from Bristol says that the group agreed to perform at the event after a request from Sandy's friend Sam, who had been turned down by 5 other groups. Uh, yeah, I don't blame them. I get it. It was definitely not your normal gig. It was very odd to first pretend to be there for the funeral and then see family and friends crying and upset. To then have to get up, rock out to Queen, it felt very weird, but it did go really well, and it's what she wanted. If you knew her, she was a bit of a rebel, so it fit her personally. Rock
Oh,
on.
wow. Let's see. That was not the only surprise. We first flash mobbed the room, but then when we left the crematorium, she also requested that we did a conga to exit the building.
Yeah, I rock with this lady, yo.
I mean, that's not bad. If there's anything I will say, have a detailed plan for how you want your funerals, memorial services, all that stuff to go. You know what I
Straight
mean?
up.
Like,
I'm with it.
just if there's a thing you want, like I hear about people like having these elaborate, and I'm like, oh, what do what you like,
Yeah.
but write it down and have people like really have someone promise, like write the plan, but have someone promise to do as much of that as possible. Like this is what she wanted. Like
Right.
this is what she wanted. This is what we're doing. Because family will fight it. Like, no, we all have to be in black and crying and all. Nah, this is what she wanted. This is what we're doing. Like,
Word up.
fucking get it notarized if you got to. You know what I mean? Like, have a plan, write it down, and have someone who will have your back to
Amen.
implement the plan.
I
So
love it.
shout out to Sandy's plan, but shout out to Sam for booking the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Finding people who will do it.
Holding down the homie right there.
Yeah, absolutely. More
If you would like,
dancing.
if you would like to come to my Yankee themed funeral, okay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yankee fitteds
There
only.
maybe have some discussion before you
All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you are an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You gonna come to the funeral, but you ain't even gonna wear a fitted hat. Come on, B. You're not in the spirit. Okay.
You're not in the spirit. Does it have to be a fitted Yankees cap or can it be a fitted other team?
Fitted Yankees or Red Sox. Like I'm cool with the enemy. Like if you part of like because it still adds to the vibe of it. Like we playing the Red
Okay.
Sox.
All
I'm okay
right.
with that.
Great. All right. So it has to be Yankee and Yankee lore.
Yeah. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Gotcha. All
Yeah,
right.
I
All
want
right.
it to feel like, like we playing a real game,
Okay.
If you knew me as family, you could wear Yankee stuff. If you're a friend, you could wear Red Sox stuff. You'll be the away team, you know?
Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
like that.
What if I'm not good with fitted caps? Can I just wear like a bomber jacket, like a Yankees bomber if I find one?
Okay. I mean, we give you
Right.
a pin. You could be part of the front office,
Okay.
We can work it out. I'm flexible.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's mark these things down.
5 stars. Okay. You see the vision. Okay. It's going to be great. Take pictures with legends. Okay. Cardboard cutouts of legends, admittedly, but
Okay.
legends.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. I actually forgot to shout out FCBLJ, Black Girl Green World, Kim TV, and Lori McDaniel, who shared articles both for the bonus episode and for the main episode this week. With all that said, I am the hopefully not dead soon, but admittedly excited about his funeral, Gastor Almonte.
That's great.
It's gonna be a party, y'all. Biggest show I throw that I'm not headlining, okay?
That's nice. Oh, well, you are kind of. You're kind of
Kinda, you
headlining.
know what I mean?
Yeah, you're headlining.
That's what
Yeah.
I want. I'm gonna record a 1-hour special that comes out at the funeral. Boom. Gang, gang. Yeah, this is gonna be hot. Now, I mean, I'm gonna put a ticket link for the funeral on my link tree. Date TBD, okay? Eventbrite link coming soon, okay?
Oh, wow.
Always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. This has been One of Us is Dead, One of Us is Alive episode of the War Report. You know what I mean? You gonna live well past me, Sha. I know this, okay?
We'll see. I mean, I'm working on my memorial service playlist just in case.
Okay.
So,
It's gonna be hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All vibes. All vibes. All good
Come through. Hottest funerals in the world, baby. That's what we do at the War Report.
Yeah, pull through,
You come through, baby. Admittedly, we're only gonna have a reference of 2 funerals, okay?
Yes,
That's gonna be the
right.
best 2 ever, okay? Catch y'all next time. Peace.
Once the guns go cold.